they'll stay the whole time. There is a huge house. It's white. The underbelly's white.
If we're hitting red here, you can just here's the mic audio volume. Shabbat Shalom. We're gonna start soon. All right, and people can do that. Hi, Karen. Shabbat Shalom.
How are you?
Good. Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice.
How are you?
Nice
Beautiful.
to be here.
Beautiful night.
It's fine. Yeah.
Constructive view seats.
Thanks.
Hey, they were $10 cheaper.
Hey, bud. I'm not going to be having this.
But I can watch it on the Jumbotron.
But that plus the view that you get for running the live stream, you know, you're good. You're gonna walk out of here a richer person.
What's that? No, it's the last game. Hebrew school for Nate starts Sunday. Wednesday. That's week. That's not the check the calendar. But definitely starts for Nate.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, hey, there, you know, we're trying all kinds of things. You know,
I'll get a better.
somebody emailing to say, help me set up my laptop.
Hopefully that melody signals a little High Holy Days to us. We'll begin our services next week with that same nigun. We're going to keep welcoming in Shabbat in song page 3 in our special prayer book for Elul, the month leading into Rosh Hashanah. If you're in our Shabbat book, we're not going to announce the page for this, but the words are Ozi v'zimrat yah v'yehili lishua. My strength and your song will be my salvation. Words from the Psalms. Ozi v'zimrat yah v'yehili lishua. Shabbat Shalom again as the birds are chirping here on our Shabbat in the lot. We'll invite those of you who are here in person, give each other a wave for a greeting. If you're joining us from home, we extend our Shabbat spirit to you, and we're glad you are joining us on this Shabbat, this exactly 1 week before the new year of 5781. We can feel the seasons changing around us. It is a time for turning, a time for teshuvah. Of course, the Shabbat is also September 11th, a day of intense memory here in our country and around the world. So we invite you to take this time tonight to remember, to turn for yourself, to start to think your thoughts of turning to better selves, to better hope and time ahead. We'll hope that our special prayers in our Elul prayer book will help guide us to think of what is ahead of us in the week to come. We'll be announcing both page numbers for those who are at home who might be in our Shabbat book. We're going to bring in the Light of Shabbat, page 10 or page 2. The second page number is the Shabbat prayer book. Shalom. We'll turn to page 22 or page 20 as we welcome in the Shabbat ride with the Chadodi. When we reach the last verse, we invite you to rise, bring in Shabbat here in our beautiful outdoor setting or in your home.
Likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabela, v'chadodi. Likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabela, shamon v'zapor, v'dibur echad, yishmiyanu el meyuchad. Shemo echad, v'shem tiferet v'nitila, v'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat v'kabela, v'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat v'kabela, likrat Shabbat. מקור הברכה, בראש מקדם נשאך, סוף מעשה במחשבות תפילה. Dodi, Likrat Kala, Bene Shabbat, Nekavela, Roi v'Shalom, Ateret Ba'ala, Gam besimcha u'betzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, lecha dodi, ikrat kala, bene Shabbat, ikavela, lecha dodi, ikrat kala, bene Shabbat, ikavela.
Page 24, 26. Yitgadal v'yitkada shemei rabba, ve'amad yivrachute v'yamlich v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedecho bet Yisrael, bagala, uv'izman kariv ve'maru, Yehi shmei rabba mevorach, Le'olam olam le'omaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar v'yitrama v'yitnaseh, V'yithadar v'yitalel v'yitalal, Shemei dekutcha brechu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiran milma ve'imenu. Amen. On top of page 26, you can join with me in the English. There is no human being who does not carry a treasure in the soul, a moment of insight, a memory of love, a dream of excellence, a call to worship. Join with me in the English on the bottom of page 20, this interpretation of our prayer for the mixing of light and dark and night into day. Holy is twilight, the realm of in-between, and so our sages taught, pray in the moments when light and darkness touch. We are all twilight people beyond categories and labels. May the sacred in-between of this evening suspend our certainties, soften our judgments, widen our vision. Let it illumine our way to the God who transcends all boundaries and definitions. Blessed are you, God of all, who brings on the twilight. Baruch atah Adonai, Ama'ariv Aravi. Page 32 or 34. Listen, Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Shema
Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. Join on page 34, 36, and especially invite our youth here who are going to be back into learning Hebrew again soon to help us lead Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam lefanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lachtecha v'aderech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha וקשרתם לעוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Amen. On the bottom of page 35, you're welcome to join me. Love the strangers among you. Love them as yourself. See yourself in their eyes with your own and ports of entry, for you have been strangers in every corner of the world. Join in our song for redemption, Mi Chamocha, page 40.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osef elef, Nora tehilot osef elef. Malchutecha רעו בניך, בוקע ימלוך לעולם ועד.
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני Gal Yisrael. Turn now to page 42 in both books as we again bring on a beautiful evening here. Watch the sun come down around us. We pray for peaceful nights, for days renewed, for negative thoughts turning into hope. We're going to add English words from Matisyahu to the Hebrew of Hashkivenu. You can just join us in the refrain of one day.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu elechayim, ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu elechayim. Sometimes I lay under the moon, thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I'm here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around. 'Cause all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu elechayim. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu elechayim.
The birds are just singing here along with us, and they don't even have to wear masks, so it's a little easier. Let all Israel keep Shabbat and celebrate Shabbat for all generations as an everlasting covenant. Shabbat is a sign forever bond between me and Israel, that in 6 days the Eternal One made the heavens and earth, and on the seventh day God stopped and breathed a new soul into the world. We're on page 48 or 46 as we begin our tefillah, our standing prayer for Abel. I'll invite you to rise and begin with these meditative words that ask God to open our mouths that we may find our thoughts, find our intention, and find the words to offer our prayers. Then we'll begin all together and continue with some moments of silence.
Adonai, Svatai Tiftach, Ufi Agi, Tehilatecha, Adonai, Svatai Tiftach, Ufi Agi, Tehilatecha. Oh, eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Oh, eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה, אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. כן חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו משני עפר, מי כמוך בגבורות ומדם מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה, ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
I invite you to continue on your own and feel free to be seated when you're ready. Page 62, we think somewhere around 58 in the Shabbat prayer book. These words help end our tefillah, this central part with the words Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, asking God to hear our prayers.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu be'amecha Yisrael u'tefilatam be'ahava titqabel u'tehil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael. Korach pnei el avadecha
Page 64. Continue to offer a prayer for healing of body and spirit, pages 77 or 253. Healer of the brokenhearted, binder of their wounds, counter of uncountable stars, you know where they are. Healer of the brokenhearted, binder of our wounds, counter of uncountable stars, you know where we are. El Narfanallah. We are especially praying for these members of our community and family: Greta Brun Kessler, Colin Monroe, Jerry Seligman, Renee Todris, Das Wellens, Mary Lou Hole, Janet Watson, Paul Robillard, Elizabeth Hill, Kelso Silva, Enrico Mascaro, Deborah Booker, Dick Feibelman, Amy Syke, Robert Bloom, Annalie Stone, David Nickinson, Arnie Cohen, Rachel Bat-Shulamit, Bernard Tarr, Benjamin Horowitz, Sora Esther Batbatia, Bradley Dichter, Mateo Goldman, Judy Cook, Fruma Bat Harav, Jacob Vasonia, Jacob M., Joy Albion. If there are other names you'd like to mention, you mention them here or in your hearts.
Shabbat
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Our Torah portion this week is a double Torah portion, Nitzavim Vayelech. And it's coming at the end of Deuteronomy as Moses completes his teaching to the Israelites and prepares to say farewell. We're going to focus again on Nitzavim on Yom Kippur morning. And Vayelech has some strong, heartening language as Moses tells Joshua and the people to be strong and of good faith. But I want to focus on one verse in Nitzavim, in which Moses, as he's encouraging the Israelites to remember the teaching of Torah, he says, this isn't something that's baffling. This isn't something that's going to confuse you or be too great for you. You are equal to the task. And if you think it's in the heavens, it's not. Lo bashamayim, it's not in the heavens that you should say, who's going to get the Torah for us? Who's going to be our Moses and bring it to us? No, Moses says it's in your very hearts. It's in your mouths. So I want to take that verse, Lo bashamayim he, and tell a story that in which that verse figures prominently, and it comes in the Talmud. And of course, this story in the Talmud has a bunch of rabbis, and they're all arguing a halachic point, a point of Jewish law. In fact, they're arguing about a clay oven, an oven that is coiled and almost looks like a snake. And all of the rabbis in the yeshiva, in the house of study, say this oven is not kosher. It's not fit. It is impure, except for one rabbi, Rabbi Eliezer. And Rabbi Eliezer says, no, this oven is pure. It is kosher. And they argued all day, and Rabbi Eliezer brought all the logical proofs he could bring. And finally, he was exasperated. And he said, if the law is according to me, let that carob tree outside the Beit Midrash, the house of study, get up and move 100 cubits. And sure enough, the carob tree uprooted itself and it moved. Well, all the rabbis said to Rabbi Eliezer, the carob tree proves nothing. It doesn't make your legal point. And Rabbi Eliezer said, if I am right, let the stream outside the Beit Midrash start to flow in the other direction. And sure enough, the stream heeded Rabbi Eliezer's words and flowed backwards. And the sages said, the stream proves nothing of your point. And now Rabbi Eliezer was getting angry. And he said, if I am right, let the walls of this very Beit Midrash come crashing down upon us. And the walls started to incline and come down on the heads of the sages when Rabbi Yehoshua stood up and said, walls, what business is it of yours if the sages wish to argue a halachic point? And out of respect for Rabbi Yehoshua, the walls stopped. But out of respect for Rabbi Eliezer, they didn't go back to being straight. They stayed inclined, and in fact, they are to this day. Well, Rabbi Eliezer had had enough, and he said, if the law is according to me, let a bat kol prove it. Let a heavenly voice say that I am right. And sure enough, a heavenly voice came forth and said, sages, why do you quarrel with Rabbi Eliezer? Don't you know in matters of Jewish law, he is always right? Well, Rabbi Yehoshua would have none of this heavenly voice. And Rabbi Yehoshua stood up and shook his fingers at the heavens and said, Lo bashamayim hi. The Torah is not in the heavens. The story goes on that the sages, even after all of Rabbi Eliezer's miraculous proofs, even after a heavenly voice, the law followed the consensus of the sages rather than Rabbi Eliezer. So I want to leave you with one thought about Lo bashamayim hi. It's not in the heavens in this context, which is that Torah was given to us, the story teaches, that we have the capability to reason, to wrestle with the truth, and based on that truth and reason, to come to a decision to bring Torah into our midst and to make our lives better as individuals and perhaps even more importantly as a society. It seems to me that we live at a time when lo b'shamayim hi, not miracles, not things that defy reason and logic is how we're going to make the world a better place. God implanted within us Torah and reason and truth. And this time of the new year, certainly for us to be honest with ourselves and others, but also to be honest in our society, and the steps we need to take, that we know we need to take to create a more healthy, a more just, and a more whole world. Shabbat Shalom.
Wait, Gary, there's no softball.
No, I know there is, and I have a question.
Yes, Gary. Gary Kaplan has a question.
So the pot was not kosher?
The pot was not kosher, and you're going to have to study some Talmud with us to get the second half of the story. It gets even darker. It's a little heartbreaking, but it's a beautiful story, a meaningful story. But tonight it's just about lo b'shamayim.
For those who are not here, I asked if Gary was going to make an announcement about the softball team.
No, it's
Hope,
season.
hope
Just
springs
hopefully
eternal.
next year.
That's right.
Well, as I said earlier in our service, we are 1 week away from the New Year 5781. So next Friday night, we will be live streaming our Erev Rosh Hashanah service from our sanctuary. Sadly, not in person with all of you, but we hope you'll be joining us safely from your homes. We'll be joined by our cantorial soloist Batya Illinois, who's also our rabbinic intern this year, by Michael McLaughlin, and it will be the four of us in the sanctuary. But we will begin our High Holy Day season together, and all the information went out this week. Lots of links, we know, but we are offering some in-person outdoor services if the weather continues in this way. So we hope that those who are comfortable will join us outdoors during the day, and youth services and Tashlich, and we'll begin our new year together in this way.
Rabbi, did you know it's a mitzvah to read your shofar each week?
It is.
It's a mitzvah.
It's not the shofar we're about to hear, but your weekly shofar email.
You
Yes.
have all, and so tell your friends that they should click on it too and open things, because all of the truth can be found in there. The secret of life, just one thing, in your shofar.
It's a lot of email, we know, but a lot in there. We'll be sending more out this week. This week you can look forward to also some video greetings from members of our community for the new year. And a little bit of surprise, but during services you'll also hear different voices from Temple members who we've pre-recorded to appear. So we'll say a blessing for our technology, and it will be a very, very different new year, but we're looking forward to it. All right, we're going to move into our concluding prayers. Oh, one other thing. Yes, those of you with school-age kids, our Shorashim education program begins this week. We've got our Shabbat, our Shorashim at home option beginning Saturday evening. Oh, and I should say for everyone, actually Saturday evening we have a congregational Havdalah at 7 o'clock that we'll be leading, and then followed by Slichot. Really a new experience this year. The Reform Movement put together a whole Slichot service, so we're going to be watching it together at 7:30. But you will see Beth David's sanctuary and Torah scrolls in the service, because the two of us were invited to be part of this movement-wide Slichot service. So we hope you'll join us for that. Shorashim in person outdoors in the morning.
Did you hear? There's the truah of the geese. Did you hear the truah of the geese?
Well, actually, speaking of geese, we're going to read about geese in just a moment. But yes, those of you with kindergarten through sixth graders will be outdoors here all Sunday morning with Hebrew and Double Chai starting this week as well. So it's not like a busy week at all here at Temple Beth David.
Thank you once again to Roberto for making sure that everything is set and ready. Tim Holliner has a well-deserved Shabbat off from all the technology. Thank you to Howie Allen, Vice President of Religious Practices, and Peggy Allen, President of Howie, for helping to make sure everything is running smoothly.
And our Temple President, Pat Aronson, is here with us. Our lay leaders are working really, really hard behind the scenes to make all of this come together, so we are incredibly grateful. Reach out if you need any technology assistance. There are Temple members here to help. Yes, if you have kids at home, we just wish you a lot of strength with the start of schools this week, however that may look for you.
Shechian.
Yeah, and to all the teachers out there and school principals as well. So we're thinking of all of you. We're going to turn now to our concluding prayers, page 78 in our gold book, or 282. If you're able, we rise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tegedu l'yotzer breshit, shelo asanu v'goyei ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu gorim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, Lifnei melech malchei hamachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai, l'melech al kol ha'aretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, U'shemo echad. And on this same page, page 81, I'll invite you to join with me in honor of the year with us. Sweet of summer's end, on graves, we open a persimmon seed to find the tree that stands in promise, pale in the seed's marrow. Geese appear high over us, pass, and the sky closes. Abandoned as in love or sleep, holds them to their way, clear in the ancient faith. What we need is here, and we pray not for new earth or heaven, but to be quiet in heart and in eye clear. What we need is here. We take this moment for memory to hold our loved ones in our hearts. Again, we are especially remembering many, many lives lost on September 11th. Also, all the first responders. And we are especially remembering these members of our community who have passed away in recent weeks, Leon Tanofsky and Marcy Chernow. And we remember these loved ones whose yahrzeit occur on this Shabbat: Lillian Becker, Morris Sheraton, Elias Cutler, Henry Davis, Esther Dricker, Douglas Richard Feibelman, Samuel Freed, Lillian Glasgow, Marilyn Aker Graff, Isabel Lewis, Reba Mingchum, Leah Rosenblum, Frida Sands, Max Schramm, Arlene Estelle Shapiro, Paul Sherman, Nesha Springer, Max Wong, Alan Goffberg, Morris Rimmelman. If there are other names, I invite you to name them in spirit, and we'll join together on page 86 or page 294 from Warner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevorach leolam ulamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudusha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya,
v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'romav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. Going to invite Yona Citron to join us up here. As we've been doing each week of Elul, we're going to hear the shofar blast. We're going to then conclude with two different things. One, our traditional words of Psalms for the month of Elul, which you can find on page 8 in this book. Again, the Psalms speak of recognizing our presence in God's house, the beauty all around us. And we'll move into Oseh Shalom from there. Our prayer for peace. There's not a lot of us here tonight, so we're not going to dismiss you by rows, but just a reminder again, we're not obviously gathering here for any oneg or blessings. Hope you'll enjoy dinner in your homes and can wave Shabbat Shalom to one another. Let's, in the spirit of waking up for the new year, you can join us in calling out Tekiah. Tekiah.
Achad
Sha'alti me'et Adonai, ota avakesh. Achad sha'alti me'et Adonai, ota avakesh. Shivti beveit Adonai, kol yemei chayai. Lachazot benoam Adonai, ulevaker beheichalo. Lachazot benoam Adonai, ulevaker beheichalo.
Oseh
Shalom b'mromah, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen.
Oseh
Shalom b'mromah, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. We're going to invite you to start to make your way out. Shabbat Shalom, Shana Tova, Happy New Year. Shalom b'mromah, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. Shalom b'mromah, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. Shabbat Shalom, Shana Tova.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom, good to see you. Good luck.
Good luck, Becca, next week.
Sophie, thanks for chanting the Hafta.
You got it.
Appreciate it.
We're sending it, right?
Yes.
You still on the air?
I don't know.
This was, this,
You might be on
I think I need to turn it off.
the air.
Yes.
I'm not ever going to say anything bad.
beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, we're still on.